Hello and welcome back to the Queen's Club. This is the quarterfinals day here at the British Amateur 2024. We have two quarterfinals lined up for you this evening, and it will be my pleasure to call them both for you. My name is Ben Gatenbeek. And I hope you will join me for the rest of this evening and indeed this week as we go through what should be some fantastic matches. We saw the doubles matches last night. One very long five-setter that featured one of these players, Rob Shenkman, losing in 5 sets in somewhat of an upset win, with his partner Jamie Giddens losing to Seacourt's Max Truman and James Medlow. That was in one of the doubles finals. The other player here won through in a match that saw the lights go out, finished well past midnight, but they won through in 4 sets. Will Flynn did with his partner Rory Giddens against Queen's Club's Nick James and Richard Elmett. So just to bring you up to speed with the tournament so far, there have been some matches played earlier in the tournament, last Friday and Sunday. In the first round, we saw Charlie DeFries beat Mark Matthias in 4 sets in the first round match. And in the second round, Philip Dunn beat Richard Elmett in 5 sets. Ben Yorston beat Charlie DeFries in 4 sets. One of tonight's competitors, Will Flynn, came through James Hamblin in 3 sets, and James Medlow beat Harry Eddis in 3 sets. So tonight for you, we bring you this match between number 1 seed and defending champion Rob Shenkman and up-and-coming junior superstar Will Flynn. And then later on, we will bring you coverage of the match between the 5th seed, promoted to the 4th seed, Rory Giddens and Philip Dunn. So introducing the players, the service end at the moment is Manchester's Robert Shenkman, playing off a handicap of 1.1 below scratch, and his current world ranking of 11 makes him the best player in the draw, number 1 seed. He is of course heading off to Philadelphia after this tournament to play in the US Open, the only one of this week's competitors who is. And he has drawn former world champion Robert Fay in the first round there. In a matchup I'm sure we'll talk about plenty as this match progresses. Career highlights: won this tournament back in 2023, last year. He said in his victory speech then he was very proud of being one of the first Manchester players in many decades to win that title. And you can see that career highlights a smattering of amateur victories across the MCC silver racket. Won the US Amateur last year as well. I'm looking to follow it up with an excellent season this year. A look at the form guide. Played Bertie Vallet in the Whole Roger Trophy most recently at Leamington. And then some of those British Open, progressing through Leon Smart, through it to Nick Howell. And really starting to show that he is pushing on the door of that top 10 in the world. His opponent tonight is Seacourt's Will Flynn, currently playing off a handicap of 8. And that is coming down rapidly following his victory at this year's Seacourt Silver Racket, which I'm sure many of you tuned in for just a fortnight or so ago. So those career highlights load. We can see the British under-21s and 24s champion in both 2021 and 2022, and made the semi-final of this competition last year when he bested Ed Kay in the quarterfinals, coming through the defending champion that year. Can he do it again this time around? Look at the form guide again. You won't see the Seacourt Silver Racket matches on here because they are handicap matches. This form guide only shows level matches, and plenty of results there from the under 21 24s this year at Middlesex, where he didn't have quite so much good fortune, losing to Ollie Pridmore, who played in all three of the finals at that tournament and was absolutely exhausted at the end of it. But a fantastic win against Jamie Douglas, another stalwart of the amateur scene in the Paul Roger Trophy down at Seacourt, his home court. A great win against a scratch handicap player.
All right, quarter-final of the 2024 British
Quick last look at the head-to-head. No matches between them. And let's head over to our marker. Marker today is Neil McKenzie, marking from the net.
15 love. Second gallery, 15 love. Fifteen-all. 30-15. Worse than last. Second gallery, worse than last. 30-15.
One of the things that we'll have to watch as this match develops is just how those players have pulled up from yesterday. Shenkman on court for 4 hours, Flynn on court for 2.5.
Receiver, second gallery. Oh. $40-15, worse than the last gallery. First game, 1 love.
Shenkman takes that first game. It looked pretty scratchy by Flynn to start with. We know he's a lot better than that, and he will improve as the match goes on.
Second gallery. Bubble. Nope. $15 love. 15 all. Thank you.
Doubles is also a very different game to singles. Tests different parts of your technique. We'll see how that develops over the course of the match as well. Just how do you make that transition from the doubles play into the singles play? Change that mindset around. It's also so much lonelier out on a singles court. All you have is yourself to keep you motivated. On the contrary, some people will say that you don't have somebody else to blame or feel like the pressure of having to perform for someone else, and they can be a bit freer as well. So plenty to watch for as we get going into this match.
40-30. Server leads, chase the second gallery. Game server. 2 games to love, first set. 2 love, time.
That's just hit the bottom lip of the dead on. Shenkman does well to recover for it, but concedes the chase. The return was lobbed a little bit too high.
Love.
And that's the classic Will Flynn right there, bringing out that main wall force. As the match progresses, we'll also need to keep an eye on how much Will is using that force versus playing the touch game, the floor game that he's been developing over the past year or so.
Worse than 2 last gallery, 30-15.
I mentioned this during his silver racket progression, but for the longest time it seemed that his go-to strategy was playing that hard-hitting forcing game, and he's really just put that away a lot in the last few months or so. And he's really knuckled down and focused on playing a more careful, more crafty, perhaps more cunning game.
Lost it. 40-15 last gallery. Lovely shot. Game. 1-2.
That volley, we saw so much of that last night from Flynn. He's got so much control on it. Both of these players, exceptional volleying defensing of the dead on. For Flynn, this tournament is really about proving that he's up there with the likes of Shenkman, Giddens and Kay and Douglas.
15 all.
Get that handicap down to those low single figure mark. Be in the picture for that position of top amateur for Shenkman. It's about defending the title, taking some form over to Philadelphia.
30-15. Worse than the door, 30-15.
That ball not sticking in either the grill or the last gallery during that point. Shenkman did really well to recover from the ball that bounced on both edges of that grill.
More than your words. Chase it.
So yeah, plenty of subtext to this match in terms of how these players are progressing in their career, not just how they are progressing in the tournament. So it will be very interesting to see these two players at slightly different stages of their career
30-15 receiver, worse than the door.
and how they adapt to playing stronger opponents over the years. They come.
Not up. 40-15, more than a yard worse than the last gallery. Game. 2 games all.
So after some of the early exchanges here, we are at 2-all here in this first set. Still very early in this match, too early to say anything definitive about which player has the momentum or which player is looking strong.
Love.
Best of 5 format. There's so much that can happen over the course of a match. One player figuring out a strategy, the other player figuring out a defense to that strategy, and that cat and mouse as it goes through the course of the match.
40 love. Last gallery, 40 love.
Flynn eager to take the gallery when the opportunity presents itself. Take that service end, chance for the lead for the first time in this first set.
Southerly, last gallery.
At the moment he's looking fairly comfortable to play his natural game. Both players opting for railroads for the most part. Flynn, we've seen, does resort to a bubble first serve from time to time as well.
Game 3-2, first set, 3-2 Southerly. Love.
Here for the first time, he'll go for that bubble first serve. Can be very exhausting serving railroads all day long.
It's the line, 15 love.
Well, again, has hit the bottom lip of the dead on. It's gone out for chase the line. Just shows just the small margins, a few inches higher, and that is point to Shenkman. So here, Shenkman providing the commentary there. He's saying that's impatient. He just needs to hold back a little bit. Wait for the right ball to hit those harder shots on. by harder I mean more forceful shots. It doesn't have to come every ball.
30-15. Chase better than 3, chase the line, and better than 3, 30-15.
I think maybe we're seeing these last 3 games going to Flynn. Flynn's brought a little bit more of a power game than he has recently, perhaps a bit more than Shenkman was expecting, given Flynn's recent play. And Shenkman just feeling he has to match that with a bit of power of his own, both on the volley and off the floor. And that's not really his natural game. He's much happier to play that scrambling floor style of game. Chase the line here.
(40-15) receiver leads better than 3.
Then just slapping that ball. Anything that doesn't hit Penthouse is probably winning that point at that pace. So better than 3 the next chase. That might just spin back. It just finds that last plank on the Penthouse on the way down. And that's what does it for Flynn.
Last gallery 30-40.
Another thing that's changed in Flynn's game in recent times. Before, he was almost better off being at that receiving end, just trying to win points from there. He's very content to take that gallery chase whenever it has been on offer so far this match.
Server leads, chase the last gallery.
Which is not bad, seeing that he's doing well counteracting Shenkman's forcing.
Game 4-2. 4-2 first set. Hazard, worse than 1. Love. $15
That return of serve volley are really causing problems for Shenkman at the moment. Trying to go that little bit too hard at it. Just sacrificing.
30-15.
Sacrificing a bit of control on it.
40-15 hazard chase.
See, he's holding off there. Trying to put away that volley and leave it to the back wall, but the serve is tight. And getting just the right arc around that Penthouse. No width for Shenkman to play that ball. At least not with any sort of venom behind it.
40-15 receiver. Hazard worse than 1. Hazard. Game receiver 5 games to 2. 5-2. Second set. 15 love. Second gallery, 15 love.
And again, we see Flynn taking that gallery every opportunity it's been on offer so far this match, and it has served him well. He's got that crucial 5-2 lead. Options here. He doesn't have to force everything straight away. There's plenty of time to find that final game at this point.
Oh.
Doesn't need to panic that he's down 30 love in this particular game. He's got the chase already.
Last gallery, 30 love, second and last.
I think Flynn's game at the moment, he's up 5-2 in this against a better than scratch player. He's won the silver bracket. It's just been improving very quietly in the background. So we've seen yet to see him quite break through at that open level, but by the way he is playing at the moment, it must not be far away from that big breakthrough open win. To be fair to him, he hasn't travelled to play the Opens yet. He's just been playing the British the last 2 years and having to go through the qualifying for that.
$40.50. Last gallery. 40.50.
Flynn's first big appearance on the international stage was that Van Allen Claudia George Lim tournament held in Washington last year. And then across at the US Under-26s at Tuxedo. An event that I believe was won by the American team.
Chase off. 40-15.
So part of his development really has been kind of in the shadows because he's not been out there facing a lot of the scratch handicappers in recent times. Just now coming up against it, finding that force at the moment that he needs it.
Serves advantage. Game. 3-5. Thank you.
It looked like Flynn was just about to recover that game from being 40 love down. And Rob Shenkman holds it at the juice, but still has plenty of work to do in this set.
15 love.
As we keep saying, there is a long way to go in this match.
30 love. Second gallery, 30 love. $15.30.
Part of the conundrum now for Shenkman is how does he stop Flynn finding those galleries? Does he put it more to his forehand side, or does he just have to be better at hitting the timbre? What does it matter if Flynn's going to bring that out? Brings up his first set point of this match. I know that at the British Amateur, all of the matches are 5 sets long. So, having won now 5 of the last 6 games, Flynn looks like he's on a absolute roll.
40-15 server leads. Chase the second gallery.
How will Shenkman respond to this second gallery chase set point?
Game in the first set.
And Flynn finds the house of
3.
galleries. He takes the
6-3.
first set once again. We are seeing the underdogs challenging here at the Queen's Club at this year's British Amateur. Great stuff to see. Great, exciting tennis.
Jays, worse than 1. Double.
For so many years, both at this tournament, the Amateur, as well as at the Opens. So many of the early round, the quarterfinal matches have been relatively predictable. And as we've seen in the last 12 to 24 months, that is no longer the case. Every match is up for grabs at the moment.
Love. Second serve. Sorry. Second serve. Second gallery, worse than 1. Second gallery, 15 all.
Let's have a look at those first set statistics. Just 26 minutes for the set. And those dead-ons 5-1 in the favour of Flynn. Playing plenty of chases as well and really dominating that service end when he gets down there. How can Shenkman respond? Worse than a yard here. Just a fraction of an inch too long. Rolls along that back, that first plank of that back penthouse. Still worse than a yard here. Serve is very good. Threatens to punch in the dead on.
30-15 server. Chase the
He
second
just
gallery.
takes a bit of a body blow from that one. Coming off his racket onto the wall and back onto his body. Second gallery chase now.
40-15.
As you very much expect, those hazard galleries open on the chase. Shenkman obliges.
First game of the second set, 1 love. 1 love.
Seeing Shenkman copy Flynn's tactic now, going for those wider, higher serves. I mean, Flynn serving bubbles, Shenkman serving high, but it's abandoned that railroad, not working for either of them tonight. Just trying to keep it tight to that back ball, stop that power game.
15 love. Love.
There's that tight serving now from Shenkman. That high serve looking a bit better than that railroad. Question is, when it doesn't pay off, what kind of shot's coming next?
40 love.
And is he ready for it? He looks it so far. That high serve is not usually Shenkman's go-to alternative serve. Tends to go for an underarm twist when that railroad is not working. So clearly thinking of success that Bryn has had here at Queen's with that high serve.
Game 2 love. Love.
So the match moves into its next phase. How can Flynn find a way through this high serve?
Oh.
With the bobble second serve. This is the next question that gets posited.
Question 2. 15 love.
Shenkman's second serve has been tight. Flynn's been having to boast it, but he gets so much power on that boast.
30 love. $15.30. All. $40-30 chase.
So looking at the live chat, we've got one comment here saying great first set. Definitely is if you are a Will Flynn fan. And another comment here saying fire up Shanks, just joining in, hoping for 3 sets. Well, if you are a Shenkman fan, you'll be wanting a bit more than 3. This is a 5-set match. So if Shenkman's going to win it, he's going to need this match to go to at least 4.
Receiver chase worse than 2.
Always good to have your comments in the live chat. Love hearing from you wherever you are around the world. Worse than 2 chase here.
Lost it.
It's floated up
Juice.
just a little bit long, and we are at deuce.
Nearly a yard worse than the last gallery. Juice. Chases. Nearly a yard worse and the last gallery.
So you are watching the quarterfinal stage of the British Amateur live from the Queen's Club. This is the first quarterfinal. We have another quarterfinal for you later tonight. That's currently scheduled for 7:30. That will be Rory Giddens versus Philip Dunn. And we will have 2 quarterfinals tomorrow night as well, starting at 5:45. So nearly a yard worse chase here.
Advantage server. Chase the last gallery. Lost it. Game.
That has not
3 love,
trickled
server
over
leads,
far
3 love,
enough.
second set.
And the momentum has swung again. 3 games in a row to Rob Shenkman. This high serve really working to pin Flynn down. He's not able to get much purchase behind it. It's limiting his forcing options. He's having to go for that volley. He's not got as much angle on the galleries on the 3rd or 4th stroke of the rally now. And he's just still
Chase better than 5 yards.
yet to find a consistent way to beat this strategy. Maybe it will be for this slap volley strategy. We shall see.
Last gallery, better than 5. Last gallery, 15 all.
But still plenty to do now for Flynn to recover into this set. Such is the nature of these long matches. You get tactics go one way, then the other. Figure out one theory of getting points that works for a while until you get found out or get tired or whatever.
Server leads, chase the last gallery. $30 all time. 30. First gallery, 30 all. Better than second. First, better than second, 30 all.
All comments in the live chat. Alex Dieter, Shenkman has seemed to light up this set. Yes, he is looking particularly strong now. He's found that high serve strategy. Also,
Vertical first
Paul
gallery.
Weaver, well played C court. Great to have you with us, Paul. I'm sure you'll have been very happy with the result from last night. All three C court players through in the doubles.
Lost it. 40-30 server. Better than
That
second.
sends Neil McKenzie the marker back in recoil. Chase was first gallery. It went into the line gallery and nearly took out Neil. Better than second now.
Juice. Advantage receiver. Time.
So it still looks like Flynn is going to play this. Essentially a volley that he's slapping straight down onto about the second gallery, last gallery with pace. Still yet to see if he can turn this set around with that strategy. Find that way to neuter Shenkman's high serve.
Jay's worse than 3. First Jay. Score is Juice.
Was getting a little bit trapped when he was playing off the floor before.
Better than 6.
So 2 chases here for Flynn with Juice to see. Let's see how long he can stay down this service end.
Score is Juice. Jay's worse than
His
3.
last few visits down here have not lasted all that long.
Service advantage. Better than 6.
And that attempt at a main wheel force is low. He loses the chase for it. Next one's going to be better than 6.
Juice. Last gallery, Juice. Oh.
So Flynn has already conceded that chase. This will be his last chance at the serving end. He was down here for so long during that first set.
Advantage. Last gallery.
So this feels a little bit like the flow has been cut off just a little bit. Points not quite as free for Shenkman as they were just before. But that 3-love buffer might prove
1 game to 3.
very useful as this set progresses.
Have call. 15 love. Dirty love.
That's kind of what Shenkman's relying on here. So easy to make mistakes when you're playing that volleying game.
Love. Last gallery, 40 love.
Rob, of course, has that match coming up against Rob Fay at the US Open in Philadelphia. And even though Fay has been supposedly retired for a year and a half now, he knows that there will be no cheap points in that match. There's plenty of things he needs to do to tighten up his game between now and then.
It's just here. If you go right in this door here, and then the fountain's the other side.
Especially that railroad game he was playing before.
40 love. Last gallery, receiver leads.
And you suspect that this high serve game might run into trouble when it comes across that cut volley that Fay has. Not as many easy points as he's getting from Flynn.
15-40. Game. 4 games to 1. Time, please. Time. 4-1. Receiver lead. Last gallery. Love. Love.
All of a sudden, this serving strategy is not working for Flynn. He's down 4-1, 30 love. Tries that wider railroad.
15,
Needs.
30.
Well, he gets the 3 point there, but needs to find a new way of getting points on the board.
40-15.
Just trying a few things out there. Not anything really working all that well for him.
I can hear it. No. It's a good patter. Server leads, chase the last gallery. Last gallery.
So last gallery chase here now. And this is to make it 5 games to 1.
30-40.
But Shenkman played a railroad there for the first time really in this set. And immediately loses the point. So we're back to that high serve.
That's game 5-1. 5-1. of court, 15 love.
The thing with this high serve and bobble for Rob at the moment, not just is he getting points directly on the serve when the return's not good, he's also getting a lot of points from missed returns. They're easy enough to apply pressure straight away to Flynn. Shots onto that timbre, shots into that grill area.
30-15.
I suspect at the moment he's much better served, making sure his high serves get that high sidewall. I think anything that's on that side penthouse only, like the high drop serve, that's where it's really sitting up for Flynn to volley.
Yard worse than second, 30-15.
Been also not able to find really any width on the galleries anymore either. You see a first serve bubble there from Shenkman.
40-15, JC Yard worse than second.
More comments in the live chat. Ben Corsten saying Schenkers is finding some level now. Seems to be a very accurate assessment, Ben. Great to have you with us again tonight.
(40-15). Server leads a yard worse than second gallery. (30-40). Oh. Hazu, 11.5 yards. Playing through ice slows more often. That's pretty good.
So we are approaching the end of this second set here at the
40-30
British Amateur, live from the Queen's Club. A reminder that we do have another match for you tonight later on between Rory Giddens and Philip Dunn. That is currently scheduled for 7:30. Of course, if this match runs longer than that, then that will of course be delayed. Has the humiliation of cleaning up the balls after that dead on. Just how hard Flynn hits that.
Deuce. Nice point.
So back to deuce here. Still 5-1 to Shenkman.
Oh.
What can he do? He's gone for the railroad again. There's that first serve.
Receives advantage. Game.
And every time he's
2-5,
gone back to that
2
railroad,
games to 5.
Flynn has just demolished it straight away, all through that first set, and every time he's gone to it in the second. So he's back to the high serves yet again.
Love. All.
That's yes, another grill for Shenkman. 4 grills so far in this match for him. His best target on the court.
It's better than 4. 15 all.
Some players will prefer the dead on. Shenkman gets a lot of those grills.
Chase Weston 3.
So he looks a little bit uncomfortable here, Shenkman. He's tried a few railroads in there. He's not... Something about that high serve is either not quite right for him at the moment, either feeling like he's losing a lot of those kind of slap volleys. He wants to find some other tactic, but can't seem to at the moment. Yeah, he is that 5 games to 2 ahead. Just needs to hold firm and close out.
30-15, Western 3.
I'm pretty sure Flynn probably didn't need to play that ball. There was a lot of pace hitting back wall first. Still into the net, and we have set point to Shenkman. First one that goes high.
Game. And the second set,
finds the
6
dead on.
games to 2.
It is the second set. We are leveled up now.
1 all, third set. Double.
1 set all. That is a great comeback by Shenkman. He lost 5 out of 6 of the games at the end of that first set. He came back to a very rapid 3 games to love lead. But it has evened out a little bit as we got to the end of that second set. So the start of the third set so crucial now.
30-15.
Flynn now going an underarm twist. That's
Chase,
his
30-15.
typical third strategy. Going back. Well, he's going out to a high serve. So first real high serve we've seen from Flynn this match. He's serving those tight bubbles before, but not really feeling like it's working out for him.
40-15.
And Flynn still very much in an experimental phase, trying to find out a tactic, a strategy that will get him through another 2 sets of this match. So we will have matches for you here at the Queen's Club all week. We'll have the second pair of quarterfinals tomorrow night, Wednesday night, followed by the singles semi-finals on Thursday and Friday evening.
Lost it. First game of the third set. 1 love, server leads. Love.
And just going a bit of force there. Maybe he should try to go back to that a little bit more, trying to find that range when he's down there. It was working for him well at the start of that first set.
Chase Western 1.
That one's just come off the top of the net tape with pace. All Shenkman can do is shake his head at it.
How's it better than half?
Oh, that's unfortunate. He ran all the way up there and just gets not quite enough on it. So Hazard Chase in the chat, Alex Dieter saying that Robert is not forcing it all the time, which is definitely helping. I think that's a spot on, Alex. I think there's partly two reasons for that. One is earlier on in the match when right at the start in that first set, Flynn was bringing a lot more pace, and I think Shenkman felt that he had to match it. And has just calmed into the match a little bit more. The second is he's spending a lot more time down this service end, and there's much less reason to be forcing.
30 love Hazard, better than half. Hazard.
Unless, of course, it's a short chase, but... So, Hazard Chase now.
15-30. Oh. All.
Just some errors starting to creep in. That's not what we'll need. Still trying to find a serve that works.
Chase, worse than 1. 30 all.
He still can't quite find it. Now going with that demi pico, really just searching for a strategy at the moment, Flynn.
40-30.
In the live chat, we've got Lewis Gordon tuning in, saying there's always a reason to force if you look for it, so I've been told. Those of you who aren't as familiar, Lewis Gordon is the senior professional down at Hetworth House Tennis Club and is renowned as one of the hardest hitters in the game. So worse than a yard chase here. Opportunity here for Rob to put it away. Can't quite do it, and the chase is conceded. It's well done by Flynn around that timbre area. Well judged. It's not very easy to judge when it's coming that kind of flat angle from that backhand side. That last high serve there from Shenkman from the centre of the court, a bit more of a draft, still trying to find that little bit of variation. He's still not 100% happy with that high strategy at the moment.
5-6, worse than 5. Juice.
So we are back to Juice, 2 chases here. You would think chance for Flynn to get on the board in this third set.
Score is Juice. Chase 5 and 6. Advantage receiver worse than 5.
That force there by Shenkman just off the main wall. a lot less pace than that than we saw earlier on. Just going to dial back the pace and find that control.
Deuce.
We are still at deuce.
Service advantage.
And he's still searching for that serve. He's going back to that first serve bobble.
Deuce.
Still not happy with it, so gonna try a railroad again. Saw this was plan A back at the start of the first set.
Advantage. Receiver.
Just really can't seem to find that right strategy.
Deuce.
That ball just getting over the line for a stroke. We are at the fourth deuce now. I think Shenkman's retrieving has definitely gotten better this set.
Service advantage.
Fairly poor earlier on, but it has improved as the match has gone on.
More than your worth.
That retrieving much more of his natural game for Rob Shenkman. You see he's much more controlled, able to really just stay in the rally for as long as possible, find that opening, find that advantage, and then push once he gets it. That's when he's looked a lot better. That's what we didn't really see in the first set. Doesn't look like he's completely happy with his game at the moment, but it seems to be working for now.
Game receiver. One game all. Third set. 1-1. Chase better than 3. Level.
Still maintain that Flynn has looked best in this match so far when he's been playing that harder hitting game from that receiving end. Just like that. But then playing the more of the touch game from that service end. I think that's where Flynn has been better. Sometimes if you are playing a hard hitting game, it is very easy to try and play that same style from both ends, or even just go too hard at it. You get so much pace on it that even if he is just at 80%, it's still very, very hard to deal with. And then just by dialing it back to that 80%, maybe he can get that fraction more control that he needs.
Lost. 15 love. Better than 6. Better than 6. Better than 6.
Not going to be easy, this little chase. And that interrogation of the backhand side pays off. Yeah, at 15 all.
30-15. All.
Good change up of pace there from Shenkman. Just finding that little bit extra on that point. You hear him talking about choices. He was looking to go down the line there. But again, probably that better choice was just to carve it into that backhand corner.
Better than 6. Juice.
Neither player looking particularly confident at the moment. It's all still a bit tentative. I don't think that Shenkman should be too worried about that at the moment. I think he's looking the better player. And there's just a few small things that's meaning that he's not running away with the points. I think part of that is there's always a few points in the game where Flynn does bring out that power, and that's where he's troubling Shenkman. I think those quick points that end in that a hard dead on or slapping on the back wall, driving for that nick.
Service advantage. Hazard second. Hazard check.
So we are back to the railroads again for Shenkman. It was a chase. And this is a hazard chase, but we'll see if that continues. He's been putting away that high serve a little bit.
Game server. 2 games to 1. Third set. 1 set all. Time.
Yeah, we are fully committing back to the railroads now for Shenkman. Opening up that fast style of play.
15 love.
That faster style of play does encourage Flynn to hit it very hard as well. But if in Shenkman's judgment, Flynn is struggling to hit with any accuracy at the moment, maybe it's to play into that instinct.
Shot. 15-30.
Of course, you'll always open yourself up for shots like that. And hasn't looked all that comfortable on that volley. Yeah, some of them have gone into the dead on, but plenty have gone into the net as well. I think Shenkman will rue that shot coming forward. He had plenty more options to play that, but just kind of floated it on that forehand side, and then he was way out of position, couldn't get back to cover it.
Better than the first gallery, 40-30.
So let's look at some of those second set statistics. So 30 minutes for that second set. You can see those serves one completely turned around. They were advantage Flynn in that first set. Completely the opposite in that second. And that average chase length as well. Better than second versus worse than 5.
Juice.
Shenkman has still looked stronger recently. It's just a few key points, a few poor decision-making shots, but through most of the rallies, he's just looked stronger.
Juice.
And that's unfortunate as well. That's also just tipped over for a hazard the line chase.
Nope.
So you are watching the British Amateur quarterfinals live right here from the Queen's Club in London. Just a reminder, there is another match tonight. That match was scheduled to start in 20 minutes time. I don't think we're going to quite get there. And that match is between Rory Giddens and Philip Dunn.
Receiver hazard chase the line. Hazard. Game. 2 games all. 2 all. Less than 3. Worse than second.
So that underarm twist is usually Shenkman's plan B serve. Still think his high serve is where he has gotten the most advantage so far in this match. Actually quite surprised to see him abandoning it. I thought it was working quite well for him.
Less than 3.
Yeah, he's conceding a few points to those dead-on shots, but I think the higher percentage of them were going in the net or going up onto the penthouse.
Love. Worse than second. Love. Chase, worse than a yard, 30 love.
So Flynn also going for that underarm twist now.
15-30.
It's called not up. You'll get some coaches, notably anyone from the Chris Ronaldson School of Tennis, who will say that mixing up your serve, getting your opponent, or restricting your opponent from settling into a serve is the best way to play. Throwing a good variety of serves. I think I've said it before, we see Nino Marola on the top circuit doing that particularly well at the moment. But I don't think
40-15.
that's what Flynn's
Server, worst of the yard.
really trying to do at this point. He's just trying to find something that's working. He tends to stick with that one serve that works for several games in a row where
Game
he
server
can.
3-2. 3-2.
Flynn would very happily serve an entire set with just one serve.
15 love. Go. That's a nice shot. 30 low.
There was a similar ball a game or two ago running up the court. Shenkman just walked all around it and then just feathered something terrible back over. That's much more committed.
Better than last gallery. 30 low.
I think Shenkman just has to be a little bit content with the fact that Flynn's going to be driving those harder forces at the moment. Yeah, he'll concede some long chases, but I think he's probably got the better of the run of play.
Better than last. Chase 6. 30 low.
You'll see when Shenkman is playing well, he'll be very quiet. Doesn't carry on, doesn't... maybe he'll joke around a little bit if he's very, very relaxed, but generally just calm and focused, and when he's in trouble is when he starts to talk to himself. Then on the other hand, will never talk to himself during the match. And if he is having trouble, then his shoulders will start to slump and his movement between points will get very sluggish.
40 love. 6 yards. Game 4-2.
I don't think this is necessarily the right serving strategy, that underarm twist for Flynn. I think it's encouraging Shenkman to play that side-to-side game a bit more.
15 love.
Which is what I think Shenkman would prefer.
Better than 2. 15 love.
Anything either that softer ball that's not that too close to the side walls, I think is going to be the best bet for Flynn here.
Low. Second gallery. Better than 2. Second gallery. 30.
That last serve was looking very frustrated, very rushed. Not a lot of thought given to it, and those shoulders are now starting to slump a little bit. Set felt close for so long, and it is just now slipping away. So will Shenkman hold on to this set, or will Flynn find another way to come back into it? Better than 2 here. Good chase for Shenkman.
Lost it. 40 love.
That is long. And points now for 5-2.
Game server, 5-2.
That is a great serve. It is now 5-2. Oh, that serve just a little bit wayward. Go back to that second serve.
15 low.
Can you just feel Flynn needs to... The best way for Flynn to get back into this match is to find that hard-hitting forcing strategy. Again, he's not really able to compete with Shenkman. And pushing it around the corners of the court as much.
15-all.
Problem is that strategy brings with it risks.
More than a yard worse than the last gallery, 15-all.
But the thing that Flynn has stopped doing in recent times is stopped trying to find those gallery chases, the chases that he is getting from driving at the neck.
$30-15.
And that's very good from Shenkman. He brings up set point the first time in this third set. I think one thing that has changed between the 2-all game and the 5-2 game is that Shenkman's decision making has improved. He's just making sure that he's playing the percentage shots.
Receiver more than yard worse than the
Nothing too rash, nothing too complicated. Just looking to get the job done. So, more than a yard worse than last gallery here. Set point.
That is game. And the third set, receiver
And that
leads
will
by
be
2
the set to
sets
Shenkman.
1. Fourth set.
Very comfortable at the end of that set. Go straight away into the fourth set. Just over an hour and a half into this match so far.
Love.
I think what we're seeing is Shenkman approaching his best. Well, I'd say that he's actually got even further to improve, but what we're more used to seeing from Shenkman, just a relentless, never say die attitude, able to get points, recover balls from everywhere on the court.
40 low.
Which is exactly what he's going to need in a week and a bit's time when he gets to Philadelphia for that US Open.
So, 15-40. Last gallery. 15-40.
Of course, at that US Open this year, Shenkman is playing against Rob Fay in the first round, and should he be successful there, will play either Tim Chisholm or Ben Taylor Matthews in that second round.
Chase the last gallery.
There's plenty of intrigue on that side of the draw as it relates to world rankings.
Game. First game of the fourth set. 1-love.
So on that side of the draw, we see in the US Open, we see Leon Smart and Machi Salong having drawn the first round together. They're currently ranked world's number 9 and 10. And Rob Shenkman just behind them, world ranked number 11. And the points available at the US Open will have ramifications for the ordering of those three. At the moment, Smart has a little bit of a lead on it.
Line, 30 love.
But Shenkman would dearly like to catch up, especially to Mathieu.
Better than 6. 30 love.
Especially if Mathieu doesn't beat Leon, Mathieu will have no points, or fewer points rather, to pick up. And then Shenkman would be looking to do well against Faye, given that nobody really knows what kind of Rob Faye is going to turn out, how much training he will have put in.
Server, chase the line.
Shenkman will back himself in that match and look to try and nab that number 10 in the world spot from Mathieu. But until that point, we have a British amateur to play out.
All. Last gallery, 30 all. Four and 5. Last gallery, 4 and 5. 30 all.
So do keep those comments coming in. It is always fantastic to hear from you. Let us know where you're watching from and how you see the rest of this match playing out.
Last gallery.
It is always lovely to hear what you all have to say and to see how many of you are out there around the real tennis world enjoying this year's British Amateur.
40-30 chase 4 and 5. Juice. Service advantage. And that's game 2 love.
Shenkman looking so much more composed now. All the self-chatter has stopped. Just keeping calm really has this game going for him now. Back to that railroad. Flynn's hitting not so good, and that is a dejected look there from Flynn. 2 sets to 1 down, 2 love down is a long way to come back from. But the way these last few points have gone, you suspect there won't be too much longer left to this match. They really can't find a way through this railroad at the moment.
Game. 3 love.
Just looks like he wants to get off court, really.
Better than last. 15 love.
Those grills have really started to back up in the last few games for Shenkman here. Really looking imperious.
Love, thank you.
As this match continues, he's had a run, I think, probably of about 8 or 9 points now.
Love better than last gap.
I think when Will Flynn looks back on this match, one of the things he's going to have to think of is what happens after plan A doesn't work and plan B doesn't work. I think one of the things that the true champions show, and I think especially Rob Fay over the years, is there's always plans C, D, E, F, G, and so on that you can turn to. Flynn, I think, has run out of ideas just a little bit as this match has gone on.
Game. 4 love. Love. Love.
Just excuse the language a bit. It feels very much like Flynn is just going through the motions now.
15-30.
Might grill his first point in quite a while. One of the things that he'll have to develop over time, knowing that you can lose 2 sets in a row and it's not the end of the world. He's only a set down, but the way he's playing at the moment,
better than 2, 30.
you'd think that he'd not even got a set. It just looks like that. Those old demons are finding their way back in. Shenkman is looking very good. He'll be very happy with the way that he's improved over the course of this match. Especially looking through to what seems at this point like a very likely semi-final. And then on to that US Open in not too long a time from now.
Game 5, games to love. Time, please.
So the winner of this match will play the winner of Yorston and Giddens on Thursday evening at 6:45.
15 love.
That match between Yorston and Giddens will come tomorrow evening.
30 love.
And Shenkman now just 2 points away from booking that semi-final berth. That kill is looking so much better. It was hitting them mid-height and long earlier onto that back wall, but now it's really dialed that shot in. Match point now.
Game, set, and
And
match.
Rob Shenkman is through
60,
to a
62,
British Amateur
6
semi-final.
love.
He deposits Will Flynn in 4 sets. In what was a somewhat shaky first set. Somewhat from both players. Shenkman then finding that high serve to good effect throughout that second set, and then just dialing in all aspects of his game as we went into those last 2 sets. So let's have one last look at the match statistics. 1 hour 40 minutes for the match, which is relatively brisk for a 4-set match. And those points won just in that last set really ratcheting up. Just going to put on the statistics from that last set as well, just so we can see. Oh, not that one. That one. That last one, just 6 points in that 4th set there for Rob Shenkman. That set over in just 13 minutes. So plenty to take away for both players. We will be back with you from here from the Queen's Club very shortly with coverage of the other quarterfinal between Rory Giddens and Philip Dunn. From all of us here at the Queen's Club, we hope to see you again very soon.